Have you ever noticed? We spend the entire day sitting with books, but at night it feels like, man, what did I actually study today? And then there is always that one kid in class who makes everyone wonder, when does this guy even study? Chilling with friends, hanging out, zero panic. And when the results come out, their name is at the very top of the list. To be honest, they aren't a born genius. They just use a specific hidden strategy that literally cuts the exam load in half. Today, I will tell you exactly that trick which will make your study time half and your results completely double. Just listen carefully for the next 8 minutes, because after this video, your entire perspective on studying will change forever. Let's start. In life, to get marks or achieve any goal, there are basically 4 paths. Let me explain this. The first path is low effort, low reward. These are the people who just have fun and enjoy themselves all year. And by studying just 2 days before the exam, they somehow just pass or they fail. The second path is high effort, low reward. Those who study day and night, sitting in front of books, but their focus is not in the right place. They are not productive, just busy. The third path is high effort, high reward. These are our disciplined toppers who study consistently for 5 to 6 hours. Their results are good, and they stay in the top 10. But to be honest, their life is very exhausting. And the fourth, the smartest path, is low effort, high reward. This is the Pareto path. These are the smart students who study for hardly 3-4 hours and get maximum output in less time. They balance their life, health, and studies and still manage to top. Their score is many times more than their effort. How do they do it? Let's understand this through a simple story. Before that, write in the comments right now which of these 4 paths you are on currently. There were 2 friends, Sneha and Ria. Sneha followed the second path. 5 to 6 hours of self-study every day, a book in hand at all times, but no strategy. Meanwhile, Ria followed this fourth, the smart path. She studied for hardly 3-4 hours, but her target was completely task-oriented. In the evenings, she would comfortably go for her evening walk. She did her proper skincare and slept peacefully for 8 hours. Everyone thought Sneha would top, but in the final boards, Sneha was left at 78%, and Ria topped by getting 95%. Sneha started crying, wondering, what was lacking in my hard work? The lack wasn't in the hard work, but in the strategy. Ria knew the secret that Sneha didn't. That secret was the 80-20 rule. There is a simple principle in this world. 80% of your results come from only 20% of your actions. The core idea of the Pareto principle is imbalance. In life, maximum results come from very little effort. Just like you wear only 20% of the clothes in your wardrobe 80% of the time. In any book, 80% of the important information is in only 20% of the pages. You have 20% of friends with whom you spend 80% of your time. And in studies, 80% of your exam papers are made from only 20% of the syllabus. Now let's see what mistakes Sneha was making and how Ria actually used this. Step 1. Avoid the syllabus trap. Sneha's biggest mistake was starting to study from chapter 1, page 1. She was giving equal time to every chapter and getting exhausted. But every chapter is not equally important for the exam. Ria, being smart, mastered that golden 20% first. For example, if there are 12 chapters in science, Ria noticed that 5-mark long questions always come from only 3 or 4 chapters. From the rest, there are just 1 or 2-mark MCQs. She first completed those heavy weightage chapters, which finished 80% of her tension right there. Pro tip, NCERT is king, but even inside NCERT, some chapters are super kings. Find them first. Now exactly these questions must be coming to your mind. I agree that only 20% of the chapters in the syllabus are important. But how to identify that 20%? When I pick up the book, it feels like this is important. That is also important. I feel like highlighting the whole page. This is where step number 2 comes in, finding the right focus. Look, Sneha made this exact mistake. She picked up history and started blindly memorizing all the dates and all the events from the first page of chapter 1. What happened in the exam hall? Everything got mixed up. She couldn't remember which battle happened in which year and who fought it. Her brain got jammed. But Ria picked up the previous year questions from the last 5 years. Let me explain with an example. Ria noticed a pattern in history. She saw that in the board exams, every random date is not asked. Instead, there are some specific high-weightage topics. Like the main causes of the revolt of 1857, nationalism in India, The causes, events, and impacts of the non-cooperation and civil disobedience movements, or the impact of the French Revolution, which are repeated every year with slightly changed language. So instead of exhausting her brain on those useless 500 dates, she first solidified the answers to those repeating core topics. 80% of the study tension ended right there. Now let's move to step 3, which is the most important part of this entire video, so don't skip it even by mistake. Step 3, passive reading versus active reading. Okay, the topics are found, but when Sneha sat down to study, she would read line by line from the beginning, and she was just turning pages, spending hours on it, whereas Ria focused on quality instead of sitting for hours. When she studied for 2 hours, she covered this 20% quickly without wasting time. Ria used a method called triple-layered reading. Layer 1, pick up the book and just flip through the pages without going into much detail. Just go through the chapter headings, subheadings, and main diagrams once. This creates a basic map in the brain of what is actually in the chapter. Layer 2, scan reading. Go to the pages of the same chapter again, and this time, while scanning a bit, scan the bold text, highlighted words, and keywords. This makes your brain start creating links between concepts. Layer 3, focus reading. Now, when you read for the 3rd time, your brain will not be completely unfamiliar. Now put your entire focus only on that 20% core area that is actually going to come in the exam. Your focus will go directly there, and even the most difficult topics get fitted into the brain. Now you have understood the chapter and scanned it too. But on the exam day, when it's time to write the answer, the points don't come to mind. How do toppers actually write such perfect answers on the exam sheet? Let's reveal that secret. Step 4, micro notes and blurring, active recall. People who do well in exams don't do it because they had read everything. They top because they know exactly what and how much to write on the answer sheet if a specific question comes. And this happens only with 2 things that Ria used to do. Number 1, minimalist micronotes. What did Sneha do? In the name of notes, she made line-by-line notes of the entire book. But Ria didn't do that. She made very small, pointed notes of those same 20% high-weightage topics. She divided the entire large topic into key definitions, simple flowcharts, and arrow diagrams. The benefit? One day before the exam, when everyone is panicking, she could comfortably flip through the entire syllabus in 15 minutes. Number 2, the blurring and refinement trick. After making micro notes, Ria used a super powerful method called active recall and the Feynman technique. When she finished reading the 20% high-value topics, she would close the book and use active recall, which we also call the blurring method. She would explain it to herself as if she were a teacher. Explain it by speaking in your simple everyday language without any heavy words. When Ria explained it to herself, wherever she got stuck or fumbled, she understood that this concept is still weak. She would open the book again, check, and then explain again without looking. Ria's 2 hours of active study was 1,000 times better than Sneha's 8 hours of study, because Ria's brain wasn't getting tired. She was permanently saving the concepts in her long-term memory. Step 5, distraction and doubt friction. All this sounds very good, but practically when you sit down to study, a notification comes on the phone, and the very next second, you leave your studies and start scrolling reels. How to break this distraction cycle? Our brain always does what is easy. If picking up the phone is easier than opening a book, you will definitely pick up the phone. And this was Sneha's biggest problem. Whenever Sneha sat down to study, her phone would be right in front of her on the table. Every notification distracted her, and on top of that, if a difficult topic came up, she would stay entangled in it for hours. Her brain would get tired and she would start panicking. Meanwhile, Ria applied a smart rule to handle her brain, the friction method. When she sat down to study, there would be only a water bottle, a pen, and an NCERT book on the table. She would keep the phone in another room on silent so that there was no option to scroll reels. And because of this small obstacle, this friction, her brain would get lazy and she would start studying again. And if any doubt came, instead of wasting time on it, she followed these tips. Tip 1. Either quickly watch a video of that topic on YouTube or solve it in 2 minutes by discussing it with elders or friends. And if it's still not understood, she would write it on a paper to ask the teacher in school or coaching tomorrow and move on to the next topic. Her time waste was zero. Also, Rhea never forgot one thing: weekly reality check. At the end of every week, she would ask herself one question: are the questions from the 20% syllabus I studied this week being solved by me? If the answer was no, she understood that the way of studying would have to be changed. If your questions are being solved, only then are you going right. By the way, Rhea was able to do all this because her night routine was sorted. If you also scroll your phone until 2 a.m. on the bed and overthinking happens, then after this video, definitely watch the perfect night routine video appearing on the screen. But wait, before going, I'll give you one last pro tip: the 24-hour reset spaced repetition. Dr. Hermann Ebbinghaus, in his famous study on memory, discovered the forgetting curve. Human beings lose nearly 70% of new information within 24 hours if it is not reviewed. Our brain is designed in such a way that it keeps deleting useless things. If you studied a heavy topic today and picked it up directly after a week, believe me, you will have forgotten 70% of it, and you will have to start the hard work from zero again. The solution to this is spaced repetition. The 24-hour reset action. Whatever you have studied today, definitely do a quick 10-minute revision of it within the next 24 hours. Then after 3 days, then after 7 days, and then after 21 days. This is called spaced repetition. When you maintain this gap, your brain feels that this information is being used repeatedly. It takes it out of temporary memory and locks it permanently in the long-term memory vault. This permanently shifts your short-term memory into long-term memory. Look, time is short. Hard work is necessary, but in the right direction. Don't exhaust yourself by burying yourself in books all day. Pick up your syllabus today. Look at your PYQs and find out your golden 20%. Save your time. Take a little care of yourself and then see how marks double. Always remember one thing of mine: study while studying and zero attention while having fun. If you have understood Sneha and Rhea's mistake and strategy today, and you are ready to change your way, then go to the comments right now and write, "I will do it." If the video was genuinely helpful, then quickly like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Until then, work smart, take care of yourself, and keep growing. Bye. If this story changes the way you look at the hours you spend at your desk, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. We are uncovering the hidden strategies of success that others try to keep buried. Plant the seeds of a smarter future today. The next treasure of knowledge will open soon. Stay tuned and keep growing.